tournament mode in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is looking insane, y'all. This game is looking insane. I have not seen, believe it or not, I have not seen the trailer itself yet, but I've seen a lot of the information. I've seen a lot of the screenshots people have been posting on X or Twitter. This game has potential to be the best Dragon Ball game of all time. Will it be one of my favorites? I don't know. The games that I do have at the top of my list for favorite Dragon Ball games, it's going to be hard to knock those off. And it has been. But I don't know. This new tournament mode could... You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean? This new tournament mode could change some things up. So I'm going to actually watch the trailer all the way through for the first time myself. And then I'm going to comment on it. So if you guys want to skip a little bit past the trailer if you've already seen it, or you guys want to watch my reaction, that's cool too. But I am excited for this. I have some thoughts. I have some opinions. If you've been subscribed to my channel, you guys see the tabs, man. You see the tabs. You see the tabs. You see the tabs. Man, okay, let's get it. Let's get it. Man, this game, battle and tournament mode. Wait, is that the main? That's the main menu?
With ranked matches, you can set your matchmaking conditions to find your ideal opponents with balanced character cost restrictions and check the leaderboard rankings.
Okay.
In tournament mode, you can create or join a tournament online with rivals around the world.
So you can just straight up join a tournament. It's not just something like...
In this mode, you can create your own tournament rules or play in iconic tournaments from the animation. Each tournament comes with its own rule set that may adjust stages, victory conditions, and more.
Makes sense.
Today, we'll follow Great Saiyaman in his quest for victory at the World Tournament. Victory conditions include defeating your opponents the traditional way, or by sending your opponents out of bounds.
Yeah, that was I'm not gonna pause it a bunch, but like I noticed in previous like gameplay trailers and stuff, they didn't have the out of bounds option, so I thought that was just something they took out for Sparking Zero or something. I thought it was kind of dumb, but now that we know that we can turn it on and off, fire, as it should. You know, it should be like that though. Hey, that's cheating. Why is she? This isn't a 2v1. That's cheating. So October 11th, y'all. October 11th. I'm just gonna replay the trailer again, but it's looking. It's looking so good, y'all. It's looking so good. I'm gonna be pausing it on and off just to catch a few things. So this being the main menu, I made a video about like the whole presentation of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I'm not hating on with this. I do love that there's a lot of motion going on. I do love, you know, it's not just a static screen, like just a black screen or like a red screen or something like that. I do love that. So it brings a little bit of life to the main menu. I see in this corner here, if you go over to the right, it says challenges and missions. Challenges, you guys, and it's kind of hard to see with this this bar down here. And then there's episodes and custom battles. So we already know about that. We know episode battle, we know custom battles, but battle and training, and then challenges and missions is something we have not heard a lot about. And that's something that has been seen, that we know there's a lot of different like game modes and stuff we've seen in previous, or that we know in Tenkaichi 3 too. There's a lot of different random modes. I don't have to get too deep into it because that's not the point of this video is. But I'm just catching some things that we see on this mission. So very basic main menu. I like the background. So you just go to main menu, battle. You can go offline, online. Very simple, very easy, very streamlined. Player match, ranked matched, rankings. I'm telling you right now, I am gonna try to be one of the best. I'm honestly, I'm gonna sweat the game, but I'm not gonna sweat it enough to where I'm at the top of the rankings because I'm an adult. I'm sorry. I'm an adult. I got things to do. But when I do get on the game, it's gonna be a problem for whoever matches up against me. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys will see my rankings. You guys will see my win-loss ratio. You guys will see all that. It will be recorded on the Sparking Zero database, and it'll be recorded on my channel. You guys will see. I'm gonna get down. This was something they did on Fighters. Very simple way of like trying to connect to the right people, making sure their connection isn't ass. But talking about connection, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos. The netcode is the biggest thing when it comes to the success of this game, because people are gonna be playing this online. because the only way you're gonna play in person with somebody is a split screen and the hyperbolic time chamber, which is cool, but that's not the full experience of the game. The netcode of this game, when linking and playing with people, with friends, random people online, especially a whole tournament mode, bro, a whole tournament mode with however 8 people, the netcode has to be amazing. So I hope they made the right preparations to get these tournaments the way they should be and to get the connection and the servers. I hope everything is damn near perfect. Is it going to be perfect day one? Probably not, because they have to stress test it and make sure everything is on the up and up for the first week of the game being released. So I don't expect it to be fixed instantly. If they do, that amazing, but I don't expect anything, because all games nowadays there's gonna be some sort of patches, some sort of updates, and it's gonna be pretty consistent. So that's something to be looking forward to, or looking for. But yeah, the netcode is going to be everything when it comes to this game. So other than that, I'm pretty sure that's the biggest concern. I'm sure a lot of you guys are concerned about that as well. Let's look at these rules, right? So player character restrictions. So you can turn on who you don't want to be in the tournament. That'll be cool. So say like you're doing a whole, like a theme for this tournament, only humans, maybe only fusions, only villains, only giant characters or something like that. That would be cool. That's a cool idea. I might do something like that myself for my channel and people that I know and I might play with. CPU character restrictions, so you can put restrictions on who the CPUs use as well, because you know it's randomized. You don't ever pick who the actual characters are for the CPUs. Time limit, so I'm always gonna have it on infinite personally. I hate having to be timed, and then you might play somebody that plays the runaway game because they got 1 centimeter more health than you, so they'll run away the whole match. I hate when that happens in fighting games. Stage, of course, world tournament, match type single battle or DP battle. So most likely when we do tournaments, it'll be probably single battle. It only makes sense. Character selection, any, so that's interesting. So I guess that's another way of like restricting who or what characters people can use. Customization, so I'm assuming people can have maybe like items equipped to the characters or different skins or something like that, so you can turn that on or off. HP recovery after match, that's gonna be interesting too. That's gonna be very interesting, especially with friends. Oh man, the content you can make with this, like say you like barely get away in a match, and then the next match you're playing against somebody that was just breezing through the whole tournament, and then maybe the person that almost died ends up winning somehow. I mean, I don't know how that would happen, but that'd be some crazy ass content. I don't know, we're gonna see any and everything with this game, honestly. But this is the biggest thing. When I saw this on Twitter, flying on or off, they went spike tunes off. They got in their bag with this game, because flying on or off is going to be some crazy ass content, y'all. This immediately, I mean, we haven't seen any like just strictly boots to the ground fighting gameplay, but this is gonna really give us like that Kakarot DLC that we got, where we got to go back to the old world tournament and you fought Piccolo and Mercenary Tower and stuff. I feel like it's gonna be like that, maybe even like reminiscent of some like Budokai 3 vibe, OG Budokai vibes, who knows, man. And then lose if out of bounds. I'm definitely going to turn that on, at least for the regular world tournament, because it just makes sense, because those rules applied at the actual world tournament, so I feel like I would want those on, especially if you have flying off, bro. And let me just give you guys an example. So here's me playing the world tournament on the DLC for Kakarot. This is essentially what it's probably going to end up looking like, and I thought this gameplay was actually pretty unique, because Kakarot is more so like, you know, you're flying around the world, you're fighting enemies all throughout this wide, huge space in the world. And then when they condense it down to, you know, boots on the ground or feet to the ground when it comes to Goku, because he doesn't have any boots on. But I thought this gameplay was actually pretty unique, and then having somebody to actually fight and do something like this with on Kakarot, or not on Kakarot, on Sparking Zero, bro, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, y'all. It's gonna be so good. And I'm trying to see Are there different rule sets for each stage or for each tournament? No, it doesn't. So yeah, okay, so even on the other world tournament, which is also something very insane, like I haven't heard of the other world tournament in years. If you guys do not know about the other world tournament, this was like a whole filler arc or filler saga in Dragon Ball Z, where people that are deceased or martial artists that are deceased can prove their skills and fight. And I think whoever wins gets it's not money because they're dead, they don't need money. I think that it's like a special training or something they get to do. But this is where we got an introduction or introduced to like a character like Pycon, however you said it. And I always thought he was a pretty cool character. Now, of course, they're not even in the tournament. Like, I don't know why they're flying. Now that I'm thinking about it, like, why are they even like, they're not even on the stage. But here we go. But this is actually very unique. They like put a lot of attention to detail. Even though these rules won't apply to the full game, here were some of the rules for like the other world tournament. Which was kind of funny. So falling out of the ring, of course, that was carried over into like, you know, from the world tournament and the Cell games, they had that. But you couldn't cry. If you cried in the tournament, that's an automatic L, which is crazy. You couldn't give up. Of course, you know, giving up, that's in every tournament. You can't play dirty. So if you play dirty, you're out. You're out of there. In Cell games, you could do that. Of course, in world tournament, that was frowned upon too. But you know, people do what they do. And then you couldn't use any blinding attacks like Solar Flare or something like that. So these are rules. It doesn't have anything to do with the game, just to like give you guys an overview of like what this tournament was actually about. And then the Tournament of Destroyers. That's going to be an interesting one. I don't know if they're going to apply the same rules that the actual Tournament of Destroyers had in Dragon Ball Super, where there were teams. There were teams of 5 and they had to play or fight against each other. If there is, bro, I'm stacking I know a couple guys that are gonna be serious about this shit, and whoever fights against us, we are not gonna lose. We are not gonna lose, y'all. Like, man, I hope it's not just the stage, because it could very easily just be like, oh, we're gonna do the Tournament of Destroyers, and it just be the stage from the Tournament of Destroyers, and it might not actually be the actual rules that Tournament of Destroyers had in the manga, in the anime. But I believe Xenoverse 2 is probably the only game that's even touched on the Tournament of Destroyers. So I'm excited to see how it pans out and how it plays in Sparking Zero. And here's just like some general gameplay of what it looks like. I'm sure everybody knows exactly what Xenoverse 2 gameplay looks like and how the stage looks. So this is something to look forward to. I mean, it's very barren. There's not a lot going on with the stage, but I mean, that's pretty much the same with all tournament stages. Then of course there wouldn't be a tournament mode without the Tournament of Power. I mean, we all know the Tournament of Power. It's been ingrained in our brains. MUI, Jiren, Super Saiyan Blue Evolved, all the Gods of Destruction, Topo, Kefla. We all know about the Tournament of Power, so we know what to expect. Again, Xenoverse 2 is the only Dragon Ball game that's touched on Dragon Ball Super. So again, just an example of what we can see. Of course, I can see it looking a little bit better than, well, a lot bit better than this, of course. But this is just an example of what we could see. And then finally, guys, the Yamcha games. If you guys do not know what the Yamcha games are, then you have to be a youngin. You have to be a youngin. You have to be somebody that has not touched Tenkaichi 3, or you were not born when Tenkaichi 3 came out, or maybe you came back to it later. You played maybe one of the mods, or maybe your older brother or cousin had the game. You decided to pop it in the PS2 or the Wii or whatever game system they had Tenkaichi 3 on, and you might know a little bit about the Yamcha games. But if you don't know about the Yamcha games, this is actually something that was on Tenkaichi 3, and basically you go into the Yamcha games. Everything is randomized. Your character is randomized. I believe your attacks were randomized too, like the items that were selected on your character, those were randomized as well. And then at the very end, you have to fight Yamcha himself. So I don't know how that's going to work out when it comes to online, because if we're all fighting each other, like just randoms, just fighting each other online, do we still have to fight Yamcha at the end? Or is this just like a stage thing where the stage is different, but it's like the regular rules of a world tournament? thing. I'm sure we'll get more information on that soon, but that's essentially what it was. And as you can see on Tenkaichi 3, there was also a world tournament. There was not a world martial arts big tournament. Cell Games other world tournament was on Tenkaichi 3 as well. Oh yeah, and then Yamcha, he narrates everything you do too in the tournament, which makes sense. Yamcha and Puar. And yeah, it's a bajillion characters. I don't think the servers for Sparking Zero can handle that many characters. I mean, it's to be determined, but yeah, it's completely nuts. Like, all of these characters is randomized, and then at the very end you fight Yamcha, and you know, hopefully by then hopefully you can make it and fight Yamcha. I'm sure he's pretty easy depending on the difficulty you choose. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I am super excited for what this game has in store. And again, I'm curious. I'm very curious, and I'm happy I pointed this out. I don't think anybody else pointed it out, but again, there's a bajillion people online that's covering this as well, so maybe they've seen it as well. But challenge and missions is definitely piqued my interest, and maybe in a future trailer we'll get some information on what those could be. But yeah, world tournament, I'm excited. Are you guys gonna play world tournament online? Are you gonna play offline? I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. And yeah, I think pretty much touched on everything. And if you guys enjoyed the video, you guys know exactly what to do. I don't have to say it, but if you do need to know exactly what I'm talking about, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, notification bell, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys for more Sparking Zero content later on. Peace.